So if you're thinking that was pretty short, that'd be right. It's just something to get warmed up and to understand what the context is from which we're going to launch the Choi bar now. Okay, so from here, as I go to scoop my partner's leg, like I said, what happens very, very often that people kind of like instinctively react by bringing their arm towards your head. Okay, and the reason they do this is because for us to enter the legs, we want to be able to bring our head close towards his leg so we can get under his center of gravity. So if he makes a crossface and he keeps me flattened out, now from here I'm not going to be able to enter his legs anymore. Okay. Now in this situation, it's important that you play with a high knee. Okay, so I don't want to play with a half butterfly, keep my knee flared, and now from here just allow him to crash chest to chest. Keep your knee nice and high. And that's why I said it's okay to play with your foot on the hip, as your leg will be a bit higher now. When you do this, make sure your toes are pointed directly at him, not to the side. It's from here you could lock up in a steamer lock. And this comes on very, very fast. Okay, so when you play this, play it disciplined. Keep your toes pointed directly at him. Now, from here, as I go to scoop, my partner goes to make a crossface. This is the reaction that I'm looking for. And notice how my knee is very, very high. So I keep it right by his shoulder here. Now, as he goes in for a crossface, in my opinion, the deeper he commits to it, the better. Okay, so if he really goes for it, trying to stop me from getting to his leg and he tries to flatten me out, this is the ideal situation to start attacking the arm. From here, I'm going to relinquish my scoop grip, and in one go, I'm going to go elbow deep over his shoulder. Okay, so really go as deep as you can and go right over the shoulder. Don't be too low here because you're going to lose a little bit of space as you go for the Choi bar, and you don't want to push him away and just have his arm rip out. Okay, so go elbow deep over the shoulder, and now from here, lock your hands again, preferably wrist to wrist. When I do this, I want to the best of my ability, go 12 to 6. So I want to point my one elbow to the ceiling and my other elbow down towards the floor. And now you get the tightest possible connection on the shoulder. If you don't do this, if you play here, as I go to push with my knee now to start breaking his posture, his arm will just come out. So you have to go all the way over, wrist to wrist, one elbow to the ceiling, and point the other one towards your own hip. Now, to break my partner's posture, I'm going to kick with my knee and my shin to force his face away from me. And notice now how I'm sliding down his arm. Okay, so this is why it matters that you go all the way over the shoulder. I kick, his arm slides out ever so slightly, and I keep my ear close to his arm as if I'm on the phone. Now, as I kick him into a broken down posture, I place my foot on his hip, and I stay in this position here. This is all I want you guys to do from now. Okay, and play with this idea of keeping your foot on the hip. I'm a big proponent of this. As one common reaction when you go for a Choi bar, if you feed the leg all the way through, is that people stand up now, and they start walking around your body. So, yeah, exactly. Now they start like smashing you, walking their legs all the way to the other side, and you won't be able to attack the arm. So keep the foot on the hip in this position here. And from here, we're gonna look to start attacking the arm. So once again, play half butterfly. I go for a scoop, he cross faces. Again, I'm using my shin here to keep distance. If your shin is on the other side of his head, it's not the end of the world, so long as it's by his shoulder and not under his armpit. As I go in for my Choi bar now, I connect, and in this case, I'll feed his jaw to my shin using my forearm. Okay, so I go 1, 2, and now I kick with the shin to break his posture. It's this kicking with my knee that forces his head to come down. Okay, now I bring my leg over the top, I put my foot on his hip, and I keep some degree of extension. I don't want, and we'll look at how this does happen sometimes, but I don't want his hand coming to the inside of his own leg. And I'm gonna have to do a lot of work to get it free. So if I can keep everything out, keep my foot planted on his hip and make sure there's distance between his hand and his thigh, now from here, he won't be able to bring his hand to the inside as easy. Okay, couple details, foot on the hip, knee down to the ground to keep the posture broken. If your knee's pointed to the ceiling, he can come up with his head. Now from here, it's gonna be a lot harder to attack. So keep your knee pointed down, keep your ear close to his arm, and retract your bottom elbow so he can't bring his arm to the inside. Okay? And just hold into this position here. Ask your training partner here if he's able to build posture easily, if he's able to bring his hand to the inside of his leg. If the answer to all those questions is no, you're doing the technique correctly. Okay, he won't be able to defend as easily. So one last time, we go in, scoop, makes a crossface, I go over the arm. Again, if my knee is on the other side of his head, I'll just bring my forearm in front of his face first and feed the face to my shin. Now I kick to break posture. I bring my foot onto his hip. I pinch my knee down and I make sure I retract my elbow while I'm answering the phone. And from here, it'll be difficult for him to start building posture, difficult to bring his hand to the inside of his thigh. And from here, we'll look at all the best ways that we can look to attack the arm. Questions, guys? Yeah.
Retract the elbow, you mean put to your body, right?
I want to bring it this way.
Oh.
Yeah, so I want to like, yeah, slide across the mat so that his arm stays to the outside. Yeah? Any other questions, guys? Good, let's go. 1, 2.